Hello, all of you Days of Our Lives fans. Welcome to Dishin Days, where we serve up a full dish of this week's episodes of NBC's #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by my gaggle of gals. We have Not Jake.
Not Jake, with my crazy-ass hair that hasn't been cut in 3 months. Michael Mattes, how are you?
I'll give you a haircut, Michael Mattes.
I'm good, thanks.
And down at the bottom.
Thanks for the offer, though.
No, it's fine. I would have you looking fabulous using my Elmer scissors, but it's fine.
I picture you having a Flowbee or something like that you're going to bring out. It's just like...
I'm going to use these.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I'll think about it. How about that? I'll give you that.
And of course, giving us all the literature we need is...
Hey guys, Justin Herald here.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you haven't already, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin Days Show on Facebook, Dishin Days on Instagram, and _Dishin Days on the Twitter. The @ has currently turned into a cat.
I thought you were going to say something else.
I had no idea what I was going to say, and then I just had to say something. Also, since you are here watching us live, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/DishinDays. If you're listening to us on the podcast, which you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and all other podcast systems. If you want to see our lovely faces, head over to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. youtube.com/DishinDays. And of course, buy our merch. That's right, buy our merch. We are at dishindays.threadless.com. Get yourself a t-shirt, a sweatshirt for those cold, warm Days of Our Lives nights, or prepare for next year and get yourself a beach towel. Hopefully there'll be more merch to come. Huh?
What kind of nights?
What did I say?
The warm, cold nights? Or the cold, warm nights?
Yeah. I mean, depending on your body temperature.
Okay.
You could be warm-blooded or you could be cold-blooded. I didn't want to leave anyone out.
California, where it was like 60 degrees yesterday and 90 today.
Yeah, and here I am sitting in the sweater.
Your entire Dishin Days wardrobe, t-shirts. I don't think we have undies yet, but
no undies, not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
And of course, you guys stay tuned because later on today we have the very beautiful, gorgeous, talented gals of Salem, Miss Sal Stowers and Raven Bowens, will be here to talk all the tea spilling that happened at Abe and Paulina's wedding.
This was really like a week for the ladies. Like for those two and Jack A, they really kind of stole the week this week. So kudos to all three of them.
Well, I guess I don't have to ask you what you thought about this week's episodes.
It was great. I thought this week was a solid soapy week.
Solid soapy week. Justin, what did you think?
I thought it was good. I liked the interactions we got. I thought we got some really good old school soap scenes, and I was kind of worried how this wedding was going to go, if it was going to hit the notes we wanted it to, but I think it did. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I thought this week was really good too. I thought definitely everything that happened with the wedding was very interesting and kept me thoroughly entertained. Not a whole lot happened in Salem this week, but enough to
enough, yeah.
Yeah, to keep us busy. Yeah. So let's get right into it. It is now time to
as we all get ready, assume the position.
It is now time to start
Dishin
Days. Oh, we were so close. Yeah. So close. Dun dun! Set it and forget it. All right, so let's kick things off with the first storyline, Abe and Paulina's wedding. We got Abe, Paulina, Chanel, Lani, Eli, MarDevil, Olivia, Theo, Kate, Roman, Steve, Kayla, Johnson, Johnny. Was it... First question. Because I always feel like I pay attention to the guest list of any wedding. Never mind. I have figured it out. Roman and Abe are very close friends. Right. Roman brought Kate, so that explains Kate and Roman. But I was also
Kate also worked for Abe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
but I'm like, nobody else
justified that way, but
I know.
Yeah, like there could have been others.
like
Nicole was missing. Like that was a big glare of like Nicole not being there.
Nicole was missing.
Yeah.
They explained why Julie decided not to come, but I'm like, you couldn't like put in
like they talked about.
But Julie couldn't like put in the paperwork to sue Marlena and then just come on to the wedding.
I know. Right.
Do you know? Is there a limit to how many people can be on set at one time with the COVID protocols?
I don't think so.
I don't know. If,
I'm trying to remember if we've seen a big like group scene like that in a small set. But
I think the last one was the Eric and Nicole. That was probably the most populated, right? Event.
Yeah, but I think that was shot before. I think that was shot before COVID.
Yeah. No, their breakup.
Oh,
yeah, in the pub. I mean, that's probably the last scene that we had like a big group of people together. I'm thinking. Yeah,
but I don't think it's that. I don't know. Like weddings are always just weird. It's like it's starting to be like the essential people that just need to be there, and I'm like, these are prominent people in Salem. Like, everyone else couldn't come.
I know. Yeah, the whole be there. Yeah.
I just whispered, "Oh my god! I just realized something. I'll fix it." So the wedding.
Yeah. Can we? What do we tackle first?
Well, first of all, did you guys? Okay, I feel like we all thought that MarDevil was going to be the one to drop the ball.
Yeah.
But she passed the buck.
Passed the torch. Yep. She said, "Nope, I'm not going to do it myself. I'm going to have I keep wanting to say Raven. It's not her name. Chanel. And I thought it was great the way she manipulated Chanel like that and just manipulated the entire situation.
Yeah.
Into her spilling the beans at the wedding.
I was like, ooh, not you getting somebody else to spill the tea for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the church.
Yes.
Basically being like.
Yeah.
I love that little.
That was really well done. Yeah.
I thought that was really well done because they even, it was very brief. It was very brief, but they got, they isolated Chanel.
Yeah.
And it was just her and the devil, staring at her. And that's what induced her to kind of spill the beans like that, like she did. Yeah.
Yeah. That was really well done.
Oof.
I like that we got like a nice, we didn't get an overly long setup, but we got like, we saw Paulina getting ready and something borrowed, something new, blah, 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 all that jazz. I appreciate the setup to the wedding rather than just going like right into it.
Yeah.
But Julie being like, this is something borrowed. Yeah, I want this back.
Borrowed.
We ain't that close for me to be getting you a gift.
It's like, I like you now, but I like you now, but this ain't a gift. It's borrowed.
But it also allowed for the setup of like Chanel showing up and just kind of like, being like side-eyeing the whole time. Mm-hmm. But what I also my favorite line, one of the favorites, was Lani like looking at Chanel and Paulina and being like,
"Yeah,
all good."
Yeah.
I was like, girl, if you only knew.
Yeah.
But that was good. But then getting into the wedding and it was a lot of pinging, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Chanel dropped the ball, and it allowed for everyone to kind of have a moment. Yeah. But then we kind of got everyone's separate reactions.
Yeah.
Right. So first it was kind of like, Abe and Lani were kind of able to react. But then, we got Lani's like, we basically see her whole world like shatter. Yeah. And then also the ripple effect of Abe and how he felt. But then also Theo and how he felt and how he put that like towards Chanel. And even like Roman, kind of looking at Chanel and Chanel's like, I'm sorry I ruined the wedding. And Roman's like, well, we're not the ones you need to apologize to.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, I'm like, girl, Nationwide ain't in this building.
Not on your side.
Ain't nobody on your side.
And then there was Marlena in the corner.
Oh my God. Deidre, she had me cracking up the whole wedding. The look she was giving, the little like trying to turn her like face away from everybody, and the sly smiles. Oh my God, she is the standout in this. I'm glad she's given something else to do other than being sort of sage-wise therapist Marlena.
She literally stood there like, doop 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 doop. What's going on over there, Michael Mattes?
Nothing. Never mind.
Is there construction happening?
No.
Okay. That was basically Michael Mattes just gave me the devil eyes and being like, bitch, move on.
Yeah.
There's nothing over here. Leave it alone.
Had to wait till 3. Had to wait till 3 o'clock to do it. That's all I'm saying. Like, really,
well, you know,
when you know what happens at 3 o'clock in the house every day, that's okay.
Nope. But yeah,
back to Deidre Hall, because Deidre Hall was like her facial expressions and her reactions, like the glee without being trying to not be so gleeful, but the subtle glee was very funny. Had me cackle a couple times.
That I don't know who behind the scenes, which director came up with this shot, but there was a shot where they went back into the wedding. And they had Marlena kind of walk by, and she was just like,
like, I'm gonna just go over here and watch my work.
But I do wonder how it's gonna play into the fact that Chanel didn't give up her source. No. And so for the longest time, people were like, well, how do you know this? How do you know for sure? And then finally, Olivia stood up and was like, she's right, baby. Yeah. I mean, it almost felt like a scene in like a Tyler Perry movie. Where the reveal happens, and then the older, wiser person stands up and says, "Listen here."
The older, wiser Medea.
This is the time for healing.
Yeah,
I can't let this lie go on for too much longer.
This was right out of a Tyler Perry. Yeah,
it's true. Chanel and Lani, y'all are sisters.
Girl.
Insert wise point moment here. But it's interesting though that they had Olivia confirm it, because she was the one that was very adamant about
keeping the
not
secret,
saying anything, keeping the secret. Yeah.
But I feel like once the secret was out, she kind of threw her hands up and was like, well, it's out now. Might as well just, because if I don't confirm it, someone else will later, so might as well get it over with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was I don't know, it was very interesting and very entertaining. I would say, like the reveal. And I don't think that I initially thought this is how the reveal would go. When I heard that Abe and Paulina was getting married, I was like, it's gonna be a wedding. Because we all know weddings means something's about to happen to somebody.
Let me ask you guys, do you think they sort of rushed the Chanel jealousy there a little bit in order to have her spill the secret? Because I felt like they ratcheted it up a lot in order to get her to that point where she previously wasn't really anywhere near there.
I don't think so, because
I didn't feel it was rushed. No.
I think there's always been a little bit of jealous undertone and not understanding, like, if you think of when Chanel first came on, right? Spoiled brat, like, should be getting everything. But then hearing the stories of like what all her mother has done for Lani, I'm sure underliningly it's like, oh wait, I'm your daughter and like I need help. And you're just like, I don't think they always explored it, but I think once the dots were connected, it suddenly was just like, this is my sister. Yeah, that's why she act like that. So,
I think the reveal was rushed a little bit. Like, I think I feel like they could have taken their time with it a little bit more, where it was like she revealed it. There was really not a lot of question about what she was revealing, and then Big Mama not immediately, but I feel like it could have been like at least an episode and a half of just that, of just the reveal and why and all of and then the realization could have come a little bit later that, oh, right. If you're not my mom, if you're my mom, then Abe's not my father. Like, it could have been a little bit more staggered, but it seemed like everything was realized at once. So I would have appreciated the drama being in that scene being drawn out a little more. But then we got, individual scenes. We got the great scene with Abe and Paulina, which was spectacular on both parts, for James Reynolds and Jack Hay. Then we got the aftermath with Lani and Paulina, which was great. Then Chanel ran to Johnny, got her aftermath. Yeah. So there's plenty of drama to go around.
This is an interesting thought. That could be a reason why. I don't think Lani overreacted. You have to think about setting out on this journey to find out who your father was. Mm-hmm. And landing in Salem and then feeling like you found a piece of yourself that's been missing and establishing yourself in a new city, right? You have now, life is great. Your mom is out touring. She done found another man. You've established roots in the same city as your father. You found the love of your life. You now have kids. You have a great job. And then to find out, well, this isn't your father. Yeah. It's like back to, well, who am I?
It's a gut punch. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think she overreacted at all.
And the thing about this is nobody kept this secret to be malicious. This was not like what Paulina previously did with Pricetown. Still am not over that. Yeah. Name. But what she did with Pricetown was underhanded and slightly malicious. But what she did by giving Lani to Tamara. It was the intentions were good. The intentions was to protect her. Now, should they have kept the secret this long?
I know.
No, probably not. But the intentions weren't malicious, and I think after a while, of course, everybody on initially is angry because of the secrecy and the lying. But then I think once the dust settles, eventually people will come around, realize that Paulina wasn't being malicious, deceptive, yes, malicious, no, and they'll come around. Time will heal, I believe.
So let me ask you this: whose side are you on? Is there an understanding as to why Paulina did what she did, or do you think that Lani should have every right to be super upset that this lie has been going on and she was never told the truth?
I mean, I think both. I think both actions are justified. Again, it was the action of giving Lani to Tamara it's the keeping the secret so long part that I think was the misstep. Because it's also obviously I can see, but obviously yes, I can see Lani has a right to be upset.
There's a moment where I was kind of like, all right, I totally understand like keeping Lani safe away from Ray, but I'm also kind of like, at what point was he not a threat anymore? Yeah. And is he still a threat? And does this lead to some sort of like interesting storyline where we do finally see Ray?
I said this months ago. I felt like because they mentioned Ray before all this, with him being the guy who abused her, and that was sort of a lead up. And I was like, oh, where are they going with this? Why sort of like mention his name and like have that be a prominent thing? So I kind of feel like he's coming down the pipe somewhere. I don't know when or where, but I'm on Lani's side in all this. I think like you, Tony, it's the duration of the lie. And also, like, when do you stop? And also, like, when you brought Abe into this, that's when it should have been revealed. Because from Lani's perspective, she now has lost both parents, essentially, because she's lost Abe, who's not her father, and now Tamara, who is her aunt now, who raised her as her, like, she's essentially, it's not like, oh, she's just finding out, one parent isn't her. She now has lost both of her parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like at some point, before Lani was a full-grown woman, that she should have been told, or something. I don't know.
Can we talk about that slap for a minute? Who else felt that?
Like, well, listen, let me tell you, it hits different it's different when, like, let's say Justin and I were already in an argument, and it was like meh meh meh, and Justin was like meh meh meh, and then I just went slap, right? And it's kind of like, okay, that's expected. But when someone like walks up
and just wails on you
and just goes like that hits different.
Yeah,
that was a Sammy slap.
It was a good slap on both Sal for the giving and Jackie for the receiving. She actually like stumbled a little bit. Yeah. I was like, that was, and it sounded hard. I was like, that was perfect. Gold star for that soap opera slap right there.
But I literally was like, oh no, not slapping Jackie.
My
reaction was like, ow, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a surprise from Lani. Like, I mean, like you said, and she even, obviously, Paulina even sort of like had to give it to her, was like, I vowed no one would ever hit me, but she's like, okay, I kind of deserve that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Theo's reaction to Chanel? Like,
Justified.
basically, like, calling her selfish and...
Yeah, because, in Theo's perspective, he didn't see, he's just learning this too. And he and Lani have bonded for years.
Mm-hmm.
And so I could see how he reacted the way he reacted and just saw it for himself as Chanel just kind of being selfish and making it about her. I think he, because now he's lost his sister. So I think the anger was justified. But again, I think, once the dust settles and everything, I think everyone will be good eventually again.
I think it was the fact of the way she did it. I think he would have maybe respected it more if she had done it in private or if she had stopped it before the wedding, but to sort of stand up during the does anyone have an issue portion and sort of reveal it is like, okay, now you're sort of using your, I don't know, vengeance or irritation. You're bringing it into it now to reveal the secret.
I don't think Chanel had any intentions on saying anything. I think she was still processing it. But I think if the devil made her do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, I think that moment of looking up and Marlena looking down and then closing her eyes and then, having the devil eyes, I think the devil was like, do it. Because the devil talks to me like that too. Like, when I'm trying to lose weight, but like I have a sweet tooth and I'm standing at the 7-Eleven and I'm looking like at all the candy and stuff, do it. And I'm like, I can't do it. I'm trying to lose weight. I want to get down to my gurgles. Do it. And then next thing you know, I'm at the counter buying a Twix.
Good choice.
Definitely made
love
me
a good
do
Twix.
It. Yeah. Or like when I'm in West Hollywood and, just trying to live my life and
oh God,
walking by.
Where's this going?
Walking by Insomnia Cookies, and I'm like, no, I shouldn't do it. Y'all nasty. How dare you? How dare you y'all tried to act like I'm some trollop in WeHub.
And
you know what? I should just stop my camera right now.
Actually, in Tony's defense, for the amount of times he tells us he ends up at Ralph's at 2 a.m.
Pavilions.
Or pavilions, yes. I guess we should give him the benefit of the doubt that he is not, in fact, a problem.
The devil made me do it.
The devil makes him turn down the D and go to pavilions. Good job.
Wrong answer always.
Oh gosh. So, but yeah, I think she had no intentions. But I don't know. I was a little taken back at first by Theo's reaction. I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute now! Like, you can't, just be yelling at Chanel like that." Yeah. I mean, he has every right to be upset too because, like, again, he has a sister taking.
Maybe just dial it back a tad.
Yeah, but just
he has a right to be upset.
Kind of be like, what were you thinking? Like, could you not have done this like a different way instead of being like, you're selfish, you're doing this for your own.
Doesn't he know how soap opera weddings work? It has to be done in the middle of the ceremony.
No, he does not. He's new to soap operas.
One thing I thought was interesting was they didn't have either Lani or Abe really want to go to each other, which I kind of thought was a little weird. I'm guessing they're saving that for some big sort of conversation this week, maybe. But I thought that was weird when he sort of like abruptly left. And then she left.
Who abruptly left?
Abe.
No, he didn't.
He was
from the wedding.
Well, I mean, he
was the first one to go.
He slowly walked out.
Sauntered out.
Talk about abruptly left, like he just like
as abruptly as he can leave, as Abe could shuffle.
Abe said
in his new cane.
You know what?
I'm gonna head on out of here.
You know he wanted to go upside Paulina's head with that cane.
Oh my goodness.
That's how abruptly he left. But you know what? I don't mind the fact that they didn't go to each other first because they both needed to process
true
what was just said and what happened. And I don't think a conversation could have happened like right then. I think they both needed time to just kind of talk it out with people that they trust. And they obviously did that. Abe went to Roman, which I like the fact that, you know, I think someone mentioned, maybe Kate or someone mentioned, like, should we go after him? And Roman was like, no, I know Abe. He just needs a moment. And so once Abe took his moment and found his way into the Brady pub, you know, Roman knew, hey, buddy, I'm here.
Yeah.
You know? So, and then Lani went to Eli
first,
who, like, you got to give it up for Lamone too, because like I feel like Lamone's face was like our face, like, what? And like he can't. It's like he's processing it too, but he's also trying to comfort Lani. There's a lot going on, y'all.
Yeah.
And also he went through this too. I mean, like we forget, not as much of an extreme as Lani's situation, but he went through a similar situation, like a couple years ago or so.
Yeah. And he shared that with Theo.
Yeah.
And Theo was kind of like, am I still the godfather?
Of all things,
I do appreciate that the drama they're giving Lani and Eli now isn't resulting in a breakup or someone trying to or losing babies or something. You know, this is devastating, but it's not breaking them up. It's not tearing them apart. And it's like they're now put in situations where they're supporting each other. And so I kind of appreciate that. Lani and Eli have kind of been established now. This has established them as kind of a solid couple and now they're weathering storms together instead of just constantly being broken up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gabby.
Oh gosh. No, Jake.
Julie too.
Moved on to writing Jake. Anyway.
And also we'll mention this real quick and this will segue in. MarDevil sending Steve on a wild goose chase as she knows that he's on the hunt for John. But I wonder what that phone call was. Because it's almost like she might have made a call and I was like, ooh, is she going to sound like John?
That's what I thought. We were going to hear Drake's voice on the other end saying to Steve, like, come help me or something.
Yeah.
Or like, meet me here or whatever.
Like MarDevil was going to be like, ooh, let me just give Steve Johnson a call.
Hello, Steve.
And then be like,
Steve, it's John.
Steve,
I'm fine.
It's John Black. I just want to let you know, pal, that I'm okay. I'm on an assignment.
Here we go.
Steve, it's John. I'm at the Cheesecake Factory having the steak Diane. I'm fine.
There's no steak Diane at the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, yes, there is.
There is?
There used to be, at least. I haven't been to the Cheesecake Factory in a minute, but there used to be.
Oh, it's so good. They have these things called the crab bites. Oh, they're so good. Sorry. But that's pretty much it with that storyline, right? And we'll probably get into some more when Sal and Raven join us a little bit later. But speaking of MarDevil, we now venture over into the catacombs with Marlena, John, Susan in human and cat form, Kristen, Belle, Sean, and Julie. Before I forget, did anyone notice this tidbit? Both Marlena and Kristen were wearing blue.
No, I did not notice that. I did not pick
Devil
up on
in a blue dress.
Oh. What did you?
No one picked up on that, SME?
No,
I did not. No,
it was
because at first Kristen was in like a
jeans and a
business
sweater.
suit. Yeah, like a turtleneck and a blazer. Yeah. But then later in the week when she came back,
she was
in a blue dress. Yeah,
I was like, and I was sitting on the couch and I was like, okay, for this blue dress, devil in a blue dress. Nice. And then I was like, Marlena was wearing a blue suit because Marlena doesn't wear dresses. And I was like,
wear sensible pantsuits.
Yes,
sensible pantsuits.
But she does wear heels. We found out this week. They're probably the smaller heels, though.
Kid heels.
I thought the same thing when she was like, "Oh, in these heels," I was like, "They're not a stiletto. I'm sure they're probably just like what we call as kitten heels." But I mean, they still hurt either way. Okay. So we had this conversation last week.
Mm-hmm.
Eileen Davidson came back to reprise the role as Devil Kristen.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
John Del Rey, you're wrong for that.
What do we think of that?
I get what they were doing, and we kind of touched on this. I think Michael I think you said this originally about them doing the flashbacks. And I don't know about you guys. I'm curious, or even the chat room, let us know. I'm one of those people. I don't get taken out by stuff like that. So for me, I think the more interesting thing would have been just to have Stacy there.
Yeah.
And then even flash back to Eileen. That wouldn't have taken me out. I know other people get bothered by stuff like that. And I feel like soaps never do that unless they're doing like a wink, wink, tug and cheek kind of thing. But for me, I don't know if the stunt of it all was worth it.
No, it wasn't. And after seeing the episodes, because last week, at the end, we only saw that first little snippet of Eileen as Kristen, and we didn't really know where it was going. Yeah. So now that we watched the week and there were 2 episodes where she was on, for them to go as far as to not use Stacy for Kristen, I needed a little bit more than, so we can use flashbacks, or, there needed to be more of a purpose for me. And I didn't see one except the stunt of it. Oh my gosh, it's Eileen Davidson, which, we're fans of Eileen. Obviously we've said that, a ton. But we also love Stacy. And so Stacy has been established as Kristen for over 3 years now. And so, it just, for them to go with Eileen for those scenes, for the Beyond Salem, and we said this last week, it made sense since it was a completely separate show, separate world, what have you. But now to bring her into the main show where there's already someone playing Kristen that's played Kristen for over 3 years, there needed to be more of a purpose for me to be fully okay with it, other than just like flashbacks. And I mean, they did have Marlena say something like, "You're not even Kristen." And I'm like, is that supposed to be like them acknowledging something? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that was it. And so, I would have rather they used Stacy.
Agreed. I also feel like none of it was really needed because he didn't give in. Like if he had gave in and there was just like a moment of weakness and even maybe the devil getting lost into it and forgetting that, he's a devil or something, and like almost kind of letting John go, or John being able to like get out of it or something. Like to me, it was just kind of like, it was the show trying to, in my opinion, pay homage to the original players of the possession storyline. And Kristen, Eileen Davidson as Kristen was that. But like Michael Mattes said, the stunt of it all, like I think at the end, it just kind of fell flat because you literally could have just used, Stacy as Kristen and just had this whole seduction scene.
And the flashbacks didn't serve anything. Like if
it was just kind of like, it's like, do you remember this? And it's like, okay, he does, but it's not it wasn't affecting him any. You know what I mean? Like he was still very strong about. There was no moment of weakness at all. So, so he still could have had that with Stacey.
I feel like they were trying to.
I did this, Kristen.
Yeah, they were trying to kind of be meta about it too, because it was like, okay, John, you know, I'm gonna present myself as Kristen. It was like, okay, John hasn't been attracted to Kristen for how long? But the fact that you're bringing Eileen back to mark that time where they were in a passionate relationship, it was like, okay, now you're kind of doing like the wink wink thing, and it's like it just didn't gel. Like, yeah,
the wink wink can work.
Yeah, it can. Yeah,
all that needed to happen was for us to see John in like a delirious state or in a weak moment, and just kind of give in to the nostalgic of it all. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see any of that at all.
Also,
Eileen Davidson was great as the seductress, because when she like unbuckled the pants and like put the knee in between the legs and then had like took the belt. I know some people are going to steal this move, because she walked around them and then took the belt and was like, and you know, belts don't come out that easy.
No, yeah,
they get stuck.
Yeah,
that was a smooth belt, because she just and I did want her to go. You know what I mean? But she didn't do that.
No.
But yeah, I mean, I listen, as soap fans, we love a nostalgic moment, but it's just that when you do that, it has to be executed, you know, very, very well. And, you know, and also listen, you know, as fans, and we've talked about this, and I still see some stuff from fans now, you know, Eileen Davidson is my Kristen and I get it, because I say this, and I you can watch the first time we met Stacey. You know, I told Stacey the same thing. I was like, when the recast happened, I was like, But then when that door opened and she was standing there as Susan, and I heard that mine, I was like, oh, this girl's got it. She's got it. And she really has poured her heart and soul into these characters in order to like do Kristen justice, and also to really, you know, to really, I don't want to say satisfy the fans, but really give the fans, you know, this character that they've known and loved in her form, you know? And, you know, sometimes it's hard, but like, you know, it's great.
Exactly.
It's great to see Kristen as Eileen Davidson back. I was fine with it when it was separate, like with Beyond Salem. But this, it was like, okay, I see where you're going, but like I needed it to hit.
Yes, it just,
yeah, it didn't hit for me.
No.
But the devil was very busy down there, because first, and you got to hand it to Stacey Hyduke as Susan, because oh my God, Susan was on one. And when John was like, Susan, yes, John Black, shut the hell up. Mr. John Black, I'm so sorry.
John. You have hairpins? Yeah, I just haven't had a chance.
Oh my God, that was the funniest scene, because I think all of anyone watching at that moment were like, hello.
Yeah.
Pick the lock with your pins, girl.
And then like him instructing her how to pick. Oh, that was just accommodating.
I mean, Susan would have been me in that situation. I wouldn't have been able to do it either.
Yeah.
And it would have just been dumb luck, like talking and being like, click. Oh, it worked. Okay. But I would have run the hell out of there. Susan decided, you know.
Oh my God. When it finally, well, she couldn't free John. Then she went to the door, and then the door opened. She's like, ha! Don't worry, John Black. I'm gonna go get. I was like, girl, go, because you know. And then as soon as I said it, there goes the devil. Now you really think that I was gonna let you
going somewhere?
Yeah, I was like, oh, and then somehow she still left, but the devil found it hilarious. She was like, I'll give her a head start. And then when Susan broke free and she got to the back door. I was like, girl, run around. Run, like ain't nobody there. Run around. And then I thought, oh, Johnny's gonna see her. And then damn MarDevil came back. I was like, poor Susan keeps getting turned into this cat.
When she was banging on the door, part of me was just excited for because I was like, okay, she'll get, because we never see Susan with that side of her family. Of remember, she's EJ's mother, she's Johnny's grandmother. We haven't.
EJ stands for Elvis Jr.
Yeah, we haven't seen them interact. So I'm hoping that they keep Susan around and they integrate her into the DeMiras a little bit more. That is her family. It's great seeing her with Sierra and Ben and all that, and Marlena, but I'd like to see her back with the DeMiras for a little while.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. What do we think of Belle having dreams about Marlena and all of that? That's weird.
Yeah.
But she's on to something.
Yeah, I like that she's catching on that her mom is acting weird and something's up. Yeah.
But then also it's like, I'm taking the case. I'll be suing my mother.
Yeah, I don't know. Part of me, I know it's a plot point and there's only X amount of lawyers on the show, but I'm like,
there's only two.
Really, I know.
One just got out of jail.
Really?
Yeah, Justin's probably taking a break for a minute. He's on his honeymoon.
Yeah.
I appreciate what kind of drama this can bring.
Yeah.
With Belle, with her, Julie going to Belle accepting, and Belle knowing something's off. So
my mother, who is watching live from Alabama right now,
hi mom,
just said, "You better shake off that devil, keep it clean." I wonder what she means by keep it clean. She probably heard. What time was that? She probably heard y'all talk about WeHo.
You were talking about WeHo.
Exactly.
I was talking about going to get cookies in WeHo. Y'all was talking about some other kind of cookies in WeHo.
Talking about some sweet bits in WeHo.
Okay. Listen, even though I'm grown,
Dude.
I like to stay as angelic as possible.
We really going to WeHo for actual cookies.
Yeah. I mean, have y'all seen how big I've gotten? Of course I go. I go to WeHo for two reasons: a check and cookies and pavilion. Sorry, 3.
That is a good pavilion, I will say.
So, all right, and so that was. Oh my goodness!
What happened now?
Nothing.
About pavilions.
I go to pavilions, but not for the food.
Who said that? You.
No, I'm saying that.
Of course you do.
Yes, I'm not there for the cookies.
You there for the cookies? Okay, you there for the cookies. All right. So before we get into tidbits, everyone, please make sure you show us a lot of support. I think we have a bunch of new people who are just joining us for the first time. Thank you guys so much. If you're liking everything so far, please make sure you follow us on Dishin Days show on Facebook, Dishin Days on Instagram, and _Dishin Days on Twitter. Also, if you're watching us live right here on YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Or if you're listening to us on the podcast, please subscribe to your favorite podcast station. So that way you can hear us while you're riding a bike, on the treadmill, or in your car, driving from somewhere. Take us wherever you like. Also, buy our merch. Listen, this ain't cheap. Okay, we got to pay for this stuff. So if you buy a t-shirt or a sweatshirt, a long sleeve shirt, a mug, something, go to dishindays.threadless.com. Show your support, show your love, and hey, tell all your other Days of Our Lives fans to come on in. The water's fine.
Before we get into tidbits, we missed what happened at the very, very, very last second of Friday's episode.
Yes.
The phone call.
Oh my God. So I was like, not you having your phone and being able to be the length of the phone. Oh, which now reminds me, they are not kitten heels. Those were a bit of a heel because we got to see the heels that she had on.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So, Marlena somehow, first of all, Marlena is not the devil now.
Yeah,
because she was Marlena, because the devil is now
because the devil's in
Kristen.
Susan.
Yeah.
Yes, who turned into Eileen Davis and Kristen. So, so the devil the devil's busy. He had that stuff to do with Paulina and Abe. He got John locked up, the Marlena, and switching back and forth with the bodies and all that kind of stuff to where he just left the phone there. And so Marlena was able to scoop it up, And then, of course, there's no signal. I just assumed she probably had like AT&T or something. I was like, girl, get yourself Verizon or T-Mobile.
She had Metro, piece of shit.
And when the phone rings, it's like, oh, no number. I was like, girl, the first thing you need to say is help.
Help, yes.
But then it was Sammy, and my first thought was, not two captive people calling each other. Sammy's captured, Marlena's captured. Y'all ain't no help to each other.
I guess we can have like the saving grace was that she was Marlena in that instance, and it wasn't MarDevil. I'm guessing maybe that's our only saving grace, I guess. Not that she can help her, but
Well, now hopefully next week I can finally bring out the chart of who done kidnapped Sammy, because Lord knows that thing has been sitting over here collecting dust for the past couple months. So, all right, now on to tidbits, because in just a few minutes we will have Sal and Raven joining us. So quickly, tidbits, and then our segments, and then some news and gossip. So Kristen, Gwen, Xander, and Maggie.
It was cute.
I don't get Kristen's proposal to Gwen. It didn't really make sense to me.
What she basically said is, if you want to keep your man and his cookies, you will break me out. Or if you don't, I will bring back the love of his life, because I know where she at. I put her there.
And the thing is, I don't think Gwen and Xander have been established as a couple long enough for that to have as heavy as an impact as it would if they had been like a long-term couple. I can go with it. I get it, and I can go with it. But and I guess I can buy that Gwen would be threatened by that, or be able to be blackmailed by that, because basically Xander is all she has right now. So she's taking advantage of. Kristen is taking advantage of the fact that Gwen is pretty much alone, other than Xander, and so. Okay, I can buy it now. Now that I've talked through it, I can buy it.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. Xander is all she has.
Yeah.
That's it.
I thought Kristen would have used that information, though, to either Miranda or, like, to Maggie and Victor. Even though Victor hates her, I thought, like, oh, why don't you go to Maggie about... Like, I didn't get the whole, like, break me out of jail. I thought she was going to pull the, I'll get me immunity kind of a thing, and I'll tell you where Sarah is kind of a thing. So I was surprised that she was going back to the break me out of jail. Like, I'm like, oh, wouldn't you just call Maggie, and Maggie could manipulate Victor? And
no, Victor already just got 4 people out of jail.
He would do it for Maggie. I think he would do it for Maggie.
Justin, 4 people are out of jail because of Victor. You think he can make another phone call and say, oh, how about this 5th, which is the one that was needed in order to get the 4 out?
Maggie would make him.
You know what? I'm gonna cut your camera off.
You don't think Maggie would ask Victor to help her
find his daughter? But that plan won't work, because Miranda Trask ain't gonna go for that. She gonna lose Kristen for what?
Oh, and Gwen pulling off a coup to get Kristen released from, or not released, but get her out of jail again is like. Makes more sense. Kristen escaping the 80th time this year from jail.
She's Phoenix.
I mean, Kristen's been able to escape and roam around free many times. So, of course, that's going to be... that's all Kristen needs. She's like, I can get out of here and roam around. These people are stupid.
In a sensible ponytail.
In a sensible ponytail and just walk around.
So, there's that. And then the it was good to see the relationship of Xander and Maggie still intact and
sweet,
and all that. It was a sweet moment.
Yeah.
All right, Ben, Sierra, and Marlena. She's really very invested in this baby. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
She gave her the necklace that lit up when it
red. I was like, you just read this whole thing that it was like a guardian and protection, and it's gonna glow red. It should have been as white, as pure as snow. The fact that it glowed red, ooh, you got
not a good sign.
You got a devil.
Take it back, return it.
Yep, y'all gonna have to pray on that. Y'all gonna have, like, the second that baby is born, you're gonna have to dip it all the way through holy water.
Dunk.
Just dunk it. like once a month till that child is 18.
I also wonder, I didn't know if they were hinting that the pregnancy is going to be sped up with the baby kick thing. I was like, oh, is that their way of like
true.
She's like speeding up their pregnancy kind of a thing?
I thought it was just more so that like the baby's so evil that like it can do what it wants, even as a being. Lord, please look, she can't have no baby, a full-grown baby in 5 months. Let's not speed up the human process, okay?
But no, if it's a devil baby, it can.
That's just as realistic as anything else.
Well, some of y'all still had to wait 9 months before you popped out and wreaked havoc on this earth. This baby got to too. Whether it's in the soap opera or not, you got to wait. No speeding up for no MarDevil baby. That was pretty much that storyline. I feel like all the Sin fans are going to go, you didn't spend enough time on Ben and Sierra.
There wasn't a lot to spend.
Neither did the show. So, so now we got EJ, Nicole, Rafe, and Ava. Nicole was very comfortable just telling EJ,
yes,
I had sex with Rafe. Well, not that she really came out with it, but she gave enough clues. I was like, girl, if you was trying to keep a secret, it's just like being like, okay. Something happened in the office on the conference table, and I really regret it with the person. It wasn't Xander. EJ's more so upset that he spent money on that conference table, and
yeah, he's like, I own that conference table. That's not how he sounds, but you know.
How does he sound?
I'm not gonna do it again. Sorry.
I own that conference.
Not gonna do it again.
Not gonna do it again. But I don't know. For some reason, like it adds such a nice dynamic to their situationship, and you know, he came over in the middle of the night with her favorite ice cream, to which she pointed out, okay, listen, you have been shot. You have been rehabilitated, survived the fire, got yourself back together, and you still remember my favorite ice cream? None of that happened to me, and I can't tell you when Michael Madison's birthday is at all.
I can't tell when your birthday is either.
And we ain't been through, but EJ Demira can remember some
I know when Justin's birthday is because it just happens.
Well, you two weren't married twice, and tortured each other. So
true. You tortured each other maybe a little bit, but
no, let me scratch that last part.
Torture happened right before the show. And then Rafe and Ava were on. Did I miss that?
They were, right?
Yeah, they were
eating dinner. Of course, they were.
Know what? That was a weird scene. Maybe you didn't know too, because I think there was a weird editing thing with them, because the scene started when they were like sort of in mid conversation. So I think there was like a soap. I'm sure someone in the chat room will tell us. I feel like it might have been one of those days where they cut some things. And I think the beginning of Rafe and Ava was cut because they came in and they were like in the middle of a conversation already about her being home and him feeling guilty and her telling him like, don't worry about it. It's all good. Like, that was basically it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We're short.
All right. Well, that was your week of days. And it's now time to start our favorite part of the show, which are our segments. And we are going to start with mine with Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. All right, so my 3 snaps. Do you see it, Michael Madden? Oh, I'll put it up. Well, it's after your photo. My 3 snaps goes to MarDevil, because if there was ever a look that made you be able, or a picture that clearly says the devil made me do it, this would be it. And for all of the tactics of having someone else spill the tea for you, for you to stand there like an innocent bystander as if you did just not drop the biggest bomb ever. And just wondering about the church like you ain't have not one hand into this wretchedness of a wedding.
Wretchedness.
Deidre Hall, MarDevil, you get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. All right. And now it's time for
Caption That.
Alrighty, this week's Caption That photo comes courtesy of Sean and Belle in finding the weirdo crucifix in Marlena's apartment. And this week's Caption That goes to Rob Galetta at Rob Galetta on Twitter with his caption, your sister Sammy could return anytime now. Take this just in case.
Oh, cute.
Cute.
There's so many captions to go with that photo.
Yeah, there were some others too. Another one about Philip's leg. It was like, is this Philip's leg or something like that? But I thought the one about Sammy coming back, you may need this.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's cute. Because Sammy's evil. Sammy's the real devil.
Well, Sammy is Sammy.
Yes.
And that was
Caption That.
And now it's time for Those Were the Days.
Yes, in this week's segment of Those Were the Days, I'm taking you back to November 15th, 2012, where Gabby tells Will that she is pregnant. This, of course, was the sort of like beginning of Will questioning his sexuality and sort of like a last-ditch effort. He sort of panicked, slept with Gabby, who was his girlfriend at the time, and produced Ariana #2. And this is actually great considering we just had the sort of the Nick stuff. This is actually right before Nick comes into the picture again. So yeah, this was a very interesting time. This was Will questioning sexuality. This was him and Gabby as a young couple, and then
this was a big deal because it was after Will had come out and they were trapped. I think they were trapped together. It was after that explosion, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
And they were trapped together, and so naturally they're trapped together. They're scared, of course. Naturally, they bang.
Yeah,
and that resulted in Gabby getting pregnant, and there was a big controversy. It's like, okay, you went through all this trouble to out this character. Now he's sleeping with a woman. But it was, they had a history and they had feelings for each other. So
definitely,
why not?
Yep. That was
they were gonna die.
November 15th, 2012.
And those were the days. I have to bring up my microphone. All right, and now it's time for a little bit of news and gossip.
Yes, starting off, as you may well know, Day of Days, unfortunately, was postponed from last Friday to this upcoming Monday, the 22nd.
Tomorrow.
Yes, same times, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern. You can check it out, NBC's YouTube and Facebook pages, hosted by Eric Martzoff and Ari Zucker. And we did get a little bit of info. It's going to kind of be similar to last year. It is going to be the panel discussions, some tours, some trivia.
Looks like some Family Feud going on right here.
Yeah. A lot of games, it seems they're going to be playing. So, yeah, don't forget to check it out. We were never given an official reason why, but it was moved to this Monday. So you have a little bit more time to check it out.
Well, also on Friday, when I thought it was going to happen, we took a nostalgic memory lane, trip down memory lane to our times and adventures of Day of Days. So make sure you head over to our Instagram _Dishin Days. No, Dishin Days on Instagram. And check out some of our interviews, our photos, behind the scenes look at art times from Day of Days.
Yes. Next up, we got some really great unexpected news. Days has announced we are getting a new holiday movie called
Not the Christmas tree.
A Very Salem Christmas. This one, we got a little bit of a synopsis. This one is going to center around Will Chandler Massey, who was writing a screenplay before his Christmas Eve deadline, and they're saying they're mixing, it's Will using the people, his friends and family, and they're mixing in some holiday sort of Christmas tropes. So we don't know if they haven't gone deeper, but we don't know if this is going to be like It's a Wonderful Life, or if it's going to be like a Scrooge thing, or if it's going to be sort of Will looking at how things would have been kind of a movie. So it'll be interesting. We do know Eileen Davidson is back. Not officially as Kristen, but probably as Kristen.
What you mean not? Like, who else would she be?
Well, they're doing this like they did the Beyond Salem thing. They're not releasing who she is yet. I don't know why, but that's what they're doing. So she's Kristen. Not officially listed as Kristen.
Lord. Well, if she comes back as somebody else, then I'll be like, oh, okay. But whatever, she in there.
We're assuming she's It'll probably be Kristen. Yeah. Also, we have Lindsay Arnold is Allie, of course, and Carson Boatman is going to play Johnny. We're more cast announcements in the future. So yeah, and that's going to be December 16th, streaming on Peacock.
Perfect.
Yeah. Moving forward, we have the winners for the Soap Hub Awards for Days of Our Lives. And surprise, surprise, for actor and actress, we have Mr. Robert Scott Wilson and Victoria Konefel. So big congratulations to them. Yeah. Next up, we have a couple holiday movies coming in the next couple of weeks. First one is from our friend Vanessa Williams, plays Valerie Grant. She's coming. Welcome to her holiday movie. Welcome to the Christmas Family Reunion, Monday, November 29th on Lifetime. Check your local listings. Yeah, so check that out. Next up is we have one from Jen Lilly, Teresa Donovan. This one is called Royally Wrapped for Christmas. Premiere Saturday, 11/27 at 8 p.m. And this one is on the GAC Family Channel. So check your local listings for that. And Jen is actually doing a Watch With Me live on 11/27 at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where you can watch it with her. And she's going to do some games and giveaways and stuff like that. So check that out. Instagram at Jen_Lily. Yeah.
Awesome. A lot of Christmas going on.
Yep, that's it.
Is that it?
That's it.
Also, just a gentle reminder to go to SpectrumCelebrityEvents.com for all details regarding our upcoming in-person event that's happening March 5th through the 6th in 2022. Lots of your favorite Days of Our Lives actors will be there, including Stacey Hyduke, Christopher Sean, Mike Manning, Billy Flynn, Stacey Hyduke, Lindsay Godfrey, whole bunch of people, Brock Kelly. So go to SpectrumCelebrityEvents.com for all details. Get your tickets now. And there's still one last announcement that will be made soon. There's
dun,
that.
Dun, dun.
While we wait for our guest, I think we have a special presentation what
we got?
I stumbled. A new addition to the Curve.
Oh, yes. A new Curve was found in Salem this week.
Yes.
So as
company, the Brady Curve.
The Brady Curve. We now have the Johnny Curve. So welcome to the Curve. What file?
The Curve Cavalry of Salem.
The Curve Cavalry of Salem. I didn't point this one out. I would like to note that Michael Mattes and Justin pointed out this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You can thank me.
Oh, and by the way, I saw people talking about why Araceli isn't here. Araceli is working today, so she was not able to be with us. And actually, I still feel like she's the one that had the idea for the Peacock holiday movie. She said it was someone in one of our fans, but I was like, I remember you specifically saying
I thought I remember it too, but maybe she might have seen it in the chat room and then sort of said it. Yeah.
Someone, because when the holiday movie was announced, someone like thanked us. And they were like, thank you, Dishin Days, you made it happen. And I was like, what did we make happen? Yeah. And they were like, the holiday movie was announced. And I was like,
it's funny because they were probably shooting it as we were talking about it. Because it's coming. Probably. I mean, that was September, right? Yeah, that was. I think so.
It was September, but they could have shot it like in October. They could have, or they could be shooting it right now. It doesn't, they could edit and have it locked by December 16th.
I mean, I guess.
It's coming out December.
It could have been. So. We could have had some.
You think did we influenced?
It's not beyond, the realm of possibility.
Beyond.
Beyond the realm. Oh, before we bring on our special guest, I guess I totally forgot. Let's have everyone take a look at what's coming up next week on Days of Our Lives.
Okay, hold on. I wasn't ready. Hang on. Okay.
Make love to me, Joe.
It's the time of year to cozy up.
I'll keep you warm. for facing the storm.
You're the devil. I am no longer your mother.
Oh, good to see Doug again.
Well, yeah. Well, that's gonna be. Wait, wasn't it a couple weeks ago that everybody was? It was like a love fest too.
Yeah,
it's been a few weeks. A lot of people have been getting randy in Salem.
There's a lot of loving happening.
Yeah.
In Salem.
Something about the fall air, just
See, and y'all thought I'm off to WeHo trying to have cookies. There's apparently cookies happening in Salem. Sweet Bits has done a lot for Salem, haven't they?
What's in the sweet bits?
What's in those sweet bits? All right, without further ado, everyone, we have our two very special guests joining us. They killed it this week with the tea of all teas being spilled in no other place than we would have it than a lovely wedding. So please help me welcome Sal Stowers and Miss Raven Bowens. Yay!
Hello.
Hi. Look at y'all. Y'all look so gorgeous always.
Thank you. Hey, Boo. Hey, Raven.
Hi.
First of all, the internet and soap Twitter have been just raving about you guys this week. Y'all's performances this week, it's always, y'all are always slaying it, but this week y'all had to extra slay it because because we knew this tea was coming. We were sitting at the edge of our seats. We were like, Lord, when is it gonna happen? And then it dropped, and y'all gave us what needed to be given. So kudos to both of y'all.
You
Great job.
I said it before the show started. This week belongs to you two and Jackie. Raven, Sal, and Jackie. This was you guys stole it this week. Definitely.
Oh, thank you. That's really kind of you. Thank you. I mean, these ladies are so lovely to work with, so it makes it so much easier, especially under our filming circumstances. It's hard. Our job is really hard. So to be able to, bring so much to it with what we're given is, it's a big deal. So thank you for saying that.
Speaking of big deals, Raven, you were recently on the cover of Soap Opera Digest, your very first cover. So congratulations on that. Actually, you shared the cover. Sal, you're on the cover too. Sharing the cover, but Raven, you posted. This is actually, you and I now share a milestone because that's a photo I took of you.
Yes.
And that's the first time any of my photos have been on a magazine cover. So thank you so much for taking a good photo.
Amazing.
Yeah. Little humble brag there. So
get it.
That was so exciting. I found it from a random, someone posted it, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know it was happening. I didn't even know it was going to be a thing. So I was really surprised to see it. Cool.
Hey, me too. I'm on me too.
All right, let's get into some days talk because we have a lot to talk about with what has been going on up until this point. Michael, we'll start with you.
So the Carver family has been vastly expanded over the past year and a half. With Theo was brought back into the fold, played by Cameron Johnson. Jack Kay was brought in playing Paulina. Raven, you were brought in playing Chanel. With all of these, additions, how did you guys work with Lamone and James and everybody to kind of develop this genuine family rapport you guys have? Because it really from day one, from Raven when you started, and then the days when Jack Kay came on, it just all fit, and it was also genuine. And so I'm just curious, what work were you guys able to do, even with, Sal, you mentioned the protocols and the COVID stuff, and maybe not being able to interact personally with each other. But how did you guys work just to make it so genuine? Is how I'm putting it, because it really shines through on screen.
Oh, wow. That's a good question. Do you want to start, Raven, or?
Yeah, I mean, to that, I would say that, I am the newest addition to it. So I feel like they had already established such a foundation And just the way everything is run from the top, from like Days in general, the way that they do everything from Albert. And so it's already, the whole set feels like a family. And then, and then especially with us being family, the foundation is already set. And it's just like, for me, it was just like getting into the fold, and they were all so warm, welcoming, loving, and kind of family oriented people, that it was so easy to just like slide into that.
Yeah, because you came in on a pretty, you were a very emotional episode. Like your character had just found out mom lied, and I was like, they brought you in. There was also the scene where you and Lindsay had the kiss. So I was like, wow, her first episode was a big one, and you did that. Yeah, you just really took it and ran with it. So
if I was gonna be, it was one of those things, and I was so grateful that was my first day, because it's like the first time I really met Jackie, I had to scream at her.
Yeah,
this legend icon, and I'm like, all right, and then once you do that, it gets rid of a lot of the nerves.
Yeah. No, to add to that, I think when I think about when I first came on the show, what was that? Was that me?
There's so many bells and whistles.
I'm like, what was that?
We just love
yeah, so I guess what is that? 6.5 years ago now. It really was just James Reynolds. He was holding down the Carver family, and then they brought me in at the time. Kyler Pettis, who played Theo at that time, they brought us on. So we kind of started to evolve the Carver family, and then Vanessa and Lamone came on, and so that started adding to it, even though at the time they didn't have Eli and Lani together at that moment. But I think just adding some color. This dynamic right now are bringing something that the world needs to see in daytime, and so to get to bring that and to make it real and to be so connected to all of these wonderful artists is just, I'm so honored, and it makes it so much easier to work with them, because we know that it's such a big deal for us, or at least for me. I mean, I shouldn't speak for everybody, but we are holding down, for people who look like us, who don't get to see all the time in daytime. And I also, for James, like, he's been on the show we just had his 40th, is it 40 years?
Yeah, 40.
His 40th anniversary. And I'm always constantly saying, like, I am here to elevate this man. He is such a legend. He is I think he is the longest running African American on any show. Like, that is massive. And so for me, it's like, I want him to shine. I want him to thrive. Like, he needs to be lifted so high because he is so wonderful. So if bringing all of us on, we are able to do that, I'm like this to James, because he deserves it. And you guys know, you guys have all met him. Like, he's so wonderful. And so I was brought on to extend his storyline. So and now look at us. From the moment that I've come on, it's been, if you just think about everyone, it's been Abe, Lani, Eli, Vanessa, we got Theo, we got Chanel, we had who did Tion?
Sheila.
Sheila. Sheila. But it's just been, we've evolved so much, and we've gone to tell such wonderful stories, and we're doing that now. I think this storyline right now, in daytime, the stories can get kind of cray-cray. We all know that. But I feel like at least with the mom and dad, how do you say it? Just like Lani finding out that her whole life is basically a lie. Like, that happens. It really does. I know someone where that happened, where you find out, like, you're 60 years old, that your parents were not really your parents. So I feel like being able to tell a story that can actually happen, and it's giving us that meaty material, just makes it all better. I'm gonna stop rambling because I get real passionate. I get real passionate, as you guys know. But
No, we
I'm
love
honored to
No.
carrying the history of Abe Carver.
Yeah,
So good.
I
So
feel like what happened to an actual, like to an actor where they found, is it Jack Nicholson? Who is it?
yeah, it's Jack Nicholson. Yeah.
Jack Nicholson?
Yeah.
Yeah, his mom, his
yeah,
sister
was his
was
sister.
mom.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
you pulling Days is pulling from real life experiences.
Ripped from the headlines. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. It's relatable, which is what we like. This kind of TV. It's relatable.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
It's
I can even relate to, you know, the devil getting into some people and some people acting like they're not supposed to. So I can relate to that. This is far fetched.
So
it's just so easy to work with this group of actors. Everyone is just so wonderful, and I'm someone. I just have to say this because I know that I do this, but I don't know if you've ever noticed this, Raven. But I'm someone like when I work with you, like I'm just like I stare, like I will not like break contact because I'm like I need to connect with you. We get this one take here, so like I need to be in your soul. I need to feel everything, and I feel like I get that with, you know, all of the fabulous people I get to work with. I was watching, I watched the show last night just so I could be real fresh with you guys. And I noticed, I was like, damn, Lani just won't stop crying. But I would not, I was so connected to Jack A and to the story. I'm like, damn, she just got tears just flowing out. But I just was like, this is something that needs like, I need to be there with her. And she, I don't know, she made me feel so safe. And when you feel safe and connected, your heart just pours out.
That was probably one of many scenes that stood out between you and Jack A this week. And then Raven, your scenes just leading up to the reveal, like the struggle were spectacular.
Yeah.
So I was about to ask you, we've seen Lani sort of have this progression from when she first came on and the stuff she was up to, like the stuff with Sean Douglas and then the stuff with JJ and the baby.
Oh my God, Sean.
Yeah. now that we see Lani sort of happily married and sort of stable, do you sort of miss some of those antics, some of the sort of shady stuff Lani used to do? Or
no, actually I don't, because I feel like when Lani first came on, I felt like there wasn't really an idea of, she was a new character, like who she is, like we know that she was here looking for Abe, finding her dad, but she was kind of all over the place and not really grounded and didn't have a mark in Salem yet. And I feel like now, obviously, we're 6 years into this and I left and came back. But I feel like that moment I came back from the time that I was gone from the show, I feel like Lani came back with such a purpose and like she knew who the hell she was. She had a place and she like it wasn't just kind of like, let me try to date this person or she just had purpose. So I personally love where it's at right now. And I know there's that saying like, can't always be happy, and it's so, but and she hasn't. I mean, her babies were taken away. Her dad was shot. Dad ain't really dad. Mom is not really like she's all over the place. But I feel like for the viewers, I think they all know who Lani is. And I love that. Lani was, she's from Miami. She's wild. She was wild and young. Now she's got her family. So I like it. I'm like, this is good. And also, again, going back to the culture, I know from like how I was raised, but I don't care if it's one episode, but I want people who didn't grow up with like a mom and dad married in the same house, like, especially in the, urban families, like you don't see that often. You don't see like a happily married couple all the time. And like, I want to show that. I want to show that to kids that like, that does exist. Like you can see, people who look like us, that you can have a happy family and marriage and that exists. It's not just,
and no matter what you've been through in life,
right?
You can still end up with all of your dreams coming true and end up with that happy ending and everything like that. Like,
I'm all about that.
Yeah.
Yes, you can always have, exactly what you're saying. You're happily whatever your version of your fairy tale looks like that exists for everybody.
Exactly. Let's get into this storyline because like I said earlier, like we've been on pins and needles. We knew that it was coming. We actually we pictured the reveal happening completely different. I'm curious though, when you all were presented with this storyline, did you all have a different vision of how the reveal was going to happen?
I didn't, but I knew from the moment Jack A was coming, the moment I found out that she was coming on, and they were bringing in my aunt and my cousin. Mm-hmm. I think I found that out sometime last year that they were coming in. I was like, okay, something's up. And I was just like, she's not just about to be my auntie. I called, and I remember telling Lamone, I was like, she's gonna be my effing mother. Just watch. I know it. I was like, there has to be. I just felt it. But no, I mean, I knew it was going to be some big explosive thing. That's just how it goes. But I didn't think the wedding, because honestly, I didn't. The wedding between Abe and Paulina, that was a shock for me. I was like, wait, what? We got some real crazy stuff happening right now. So I didn't. That was a shock for me.
Yeah. What about you, Raven?
I think that Lamone is the one that told me that it was going to happen, that we were going to really be sisters. I think I heard it from him. And so then I was like, okay. So then I started trying to put pieces together and see what was going on. And I mean, I didn't expect, I was so excited when I found out that I was going to get to destroy a wedding, because let me tell you, when you think of all of the things that you want to do as an actor, I feel like that's on the list. It's
oh yeah.
You want to be the tea spiller. You want to be boom.
Raven,
it's so much fun.
Not only did you get to be the tea spiller, and again, it was fabulous to watch, but you also got, and I don't know if you know this, for every wedding on Days of Our Lives, they work in the title. They work in Days of Our Lives, either in the wedding vows or somewhere. So you got that honor this time, and I have the quote written, because when you came in to the dressing room, with the tea in your head, and it was this is going to be one of the happiest days of our lives. I was like, oh, they gave it to her this time. Good job.
Yeah, because I think Eli and Lani said it in their vows, or he said it in their vows. Yeah. But no, breaking up a wedding is so much fun. Raven, I got to do it with
you were a nun, right, when you did it?
Gabby and Eli, because Gabby was blackmailing Lani, and I got to take off the habit and just be all fierce, and I loved it. It's fun.
That was a fierce moment. Sal, for you though, as an actress, and we've discussed the journey of Lani. Now realizing that basically everything that has built Lani to this point has just been totally for you as an actress, how does that change your perspective of Lani and how you portray her? How does this affect Sal as Lani?
Right. I mean, honestly, it just gives me so much more to work with. It's one of those things where you're like, oh man, I know this character like this, the back of my hand. I can go into work. I've been playing her for so long now that I'm like, oh, I got her. I know her. So, and even watching the episode last night and hearing everything that Lani was saying, just my whole life is a lie. My father's not my father. They're not my family. I don't know who to trust, all of that. It gives me much more to work with as an artist. And I think as an artist, that's what we crave. We crave to be able to, dive deep into the work and really step into, this other person's shoes. Yeah. So I don't think that it changes anything. It just has made it's just given me so much more to work with, so much more I guess just depth to Lani, because now it's like, oh, we really got to figure like, and also I think Lani has to know, like, in this moment, and Eli is saying it to her, it's like, it doesn't, like, they are still your family, it doesn't change. And she's like, it changes everything. But in reality, I mean, yes, it changes everything, but you can still be family and not share DNA and blood, all of that. So I think it just gives me so much more to work with, and it has, like, it's been a lot of fun even up until now working on what we're working on. There's so much more for me to play with, and that's always fun. Did that make sense?
It did.
That makes sense.
It did. No, I just feel like there's more coming. Like, even though, like, you know, this is happening, we've been waiting for this to happen. Like we discussed earlier, we're speculating, like, okay, like, you know, this could possibly happen next, and like what's gonna, because it, you know, you're not just gonna drop a huge bomb like this and then it's like, all right, now we're gonna like just try to figure this out. I'm like,
right.
Something else is coming.
I mean, well, it's daytime, guys. Come on, you know. Like,
I mean, we did see. Yeah, we see in the promo next week that Chanel has her scene with Paulina, so that's something to look forward to. More drama, more soapy drama.
Yeah. Did I was curious, Raven, when they the way they shot. We call her MarDevil when Marlena is the devil. Was like, as you were sitting there, did they shoot that like at the same time where like she was looking at you and then she looked at you with the contacts?
Okay.
I wanted to ask, like, how did that feel to all of a sudden be sitting there like minding your business in this church, praise God, hallelujah, and then like looking over at Marlena, and then like, you know, DJ Hall like opens her eyes and she has the contacts, because I would be like, oh no, I don't want to see that.
We actually like very rarely do turnarounds, like where the cameras are this way and then the cameras are this way, but with that, because there were so many people in the scenes and they had to get coverage of everybody. We did turnaround. So we did one take where it was just me, and they were telling me to just imagine that this is what's happening, and then we flipped it, and then she did it with her contact. Like that.
Wow.
Did you, Raven? You've kind of been thrown into this Possession 2.0 storyline, and actually everybody this week kind of has, but with Chanel. I mean, the effects of the devil's work.
Oh yeah.
But Raven with Chanel, she's kind of thrown into it because Johnny's kind of been the catalyst, and Johnny's, you know, your boyfriend, and now you're playing Celeste, who on the show was played by the divine Tanya Boyd in the past, and we had that great scene with you. Celeste wig, really nailing it. What did you know about the previous Possession storyline that happened 25 years ago, or did you have to kind of did they tell you what you needed to know? Did you go on and research it? Did you even know that someone had been possessed before? Or
I did, but they did tell me. So they mentioned that it was something that happened in the past, and then also in the scripts it alludes to it a lot. And so so I was able to see it there, and then starting to do my own research and seeing how. And it's one of the things that people talk about often. Like whenever people find out that I'm on Days, they go, "Oh yeah, I remember when they did this devil possession thing a long time ago." Like, you know, and then people from my mom's church. They're like, they can't watch right now. They're like, let us know when the devil's gone.
Are they praying extra hard for you at church right now?
And they're like, is the devil gonna get in you? They can't handle it. So yeah, it was such a big deal when it happened before. And then I went and I saw some of the scenes. And then I think they also put it in the show where they did a flashback of when she they did the whole levitating,
yeah.
And it was so I feel like revolutionary at the time, and yeah, so I was excited to do it because it's also like not only are we doing daytime and doing all the crazy things that you get to do in daytime, but we're also kind of making a horror film in a way. So that's really cool.
And Raven, we have to give you your props for that Celeste scene. Like, if you know anything about the show, we love us some Celeste, and we were kind of excited at the prospect of you playing her within the movie, within a show, within the movie, kind of a thing. But what was it like to film that scene? Did you look at Tanya's stuff, or because you nailed that?
It's so hard to find her stuff, and I couldn't find, because I was trying to find it, and I talked actually Karen, the makeup artist on our show, she helped me a lot because she was telling me a lot about her character and how she was, what her essence was like, and different things like that. And then I think that Jeanette, who else? Someone else. Well, I don't know. But basically, a couple of people told me about how she was, and I couldn't find any footage of it. And then I knew she was going to have an accent, but then in the scenes that I was doing, she didn't have I wasn't supposed to know that. So I just tried to justify how I would know the essence of her just from the description of him talking about her. And it was a lot of fun trying to find all the pictures I could find of her. And then I messaged the hairstylist on our show because I saw it said, you know, Chanel and blonde wig, and I was like, what? It was like, this is gonna be the next day, and I was like, hey, we have a blonde wig, and she was like, for what? And I was like, oh my god. So she finds some wig that's there, and then she's like, all right, we gotta cut it, we gotta make it.
Wow.
I mean, it looked good.
It looked pretty spot on to what Celeste, the hairstyle Celeste Tanya Boyd had. But
Very
Raven, just a tip, because this works for us here at Dishin Days. Whenever we are looking for a scene of something, even from our show or anywhere, all you got to do is go on Twitter and say, hey, anyone have clips of XYZ? In 10 minutes, you will have like a flood because Days fans love themselves.
They find everything.
Because right now they're going to tweet you every scene that they can get their hands on. Just so you can have it.
Okay. I was YouTubing, Googling. I couldn't find anything. And then after the fact, I found a couple people sent scenes. There was one scene that's really similar to the scene that we actually made. And a couple of people sent it to me, and I was like, "Oh wow! I wish I would have had this before." Thank you.
No, you killed it, even without having that knowledge.
Sal, we have to talk about the Paulina slap.
I was nervous
because
I saw that last night. I was like, "Wow!"
Because we described it as, so there's the slap that you know that's coming in soaps, right? Like people are bickering, it's like blah blah blah, you bitch this and da da da, and then you know at some point it's just like slap. But you walked in like you just like you just gave it to her. What was that like? Because right after it happened, I was like, oh no, not them slapping Jackie. Like that was
I know. That was my, first of all, yes, that was my thought too. Like, oh, I can't. I felt so weird trying to do this with her. But then also too, you don't hit no type of mama, auntie, nothing. You do not do that. Like
Sal,
especially not when you this color.
That's what I'm saying.
Like mamas know. Like if you look like you're about to do something.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, it's like
you just raised your hand. You don't do that. So I had all of that in my mind, but then also, of course, Jackie's wonderful, and she's like, "Do what you got to do." Like I love her. I love her so much. Like we have such a great relationship. But she. I didn't want the viewers to see that coming. So even like my walk, like they have Lani walk across the Horntown Square, and I really wanted it to be like, it could be where I like say, "Mom, I love you," or it could be the slap. Like I didn't want the fans to really know what was coming, and I wanted to really take my moment in that and just give it to her when I was ready. But then I had to also make sure to land it. Like I wanted to follow through with it. Like I didn't want it to just be like, you know, like it was like, no, like excuse my language, but it was like, fuck you. Like, like that, you know? And I felt it, and it was, of course, right when it was done, we just started cracking up laughing. But it came for the viewers and people who also don't agree with like slapping your mama or your aunties, like you just don't do that. I had to come from like a real dark place of like, you just came in and ruined my entire life. Like everything that I knew about my life is completely ruined. You've been lying to me from day one, and I keep trying to forgive you. And then here we are again. I can't take it anymore. Like you've overstepped the boundaries. So now I got to put you in your place.
Yeah.
And it came, it came with that slap.
Yeah.
But kudos to our editors and our cameramen, because that looked pretty good. I was watching it last night. I was like,
and the sound of it is what got me, because I was like, oh, that hurt. Like it's intense.
Everything.
It made me clutch my pearls, because I sat back and I was like, oh no.
And I even noticed, like, I didn't like that eye contact that I mentioned. I like stayed on her. It was like I didn't even like leave her. I was like, oh, this is good. This is good. I'm proud of myself. That was a proud moment.
Speaking of
hitting a legend, not cool.
Speaking of mothers, my mom just texted me and she said, "Hello, ladies, you're doing a great job." So that's from my mom.
Hi, Mom. Thank you. That's so sweet. Thanks, Mom.
Really quick, a couple more questions, and then we'll let you guys go, because we don't want to, hold you up on your Sunday. How did you all feel watching? Because everyone this week had reactions. We saw Lani's reaction, we saw Theo's reaction, we saw Abe's reaction. I'm curious to know what you all thought about each reaction, but specifically Abe's reaction, because I think that one really kind of touched us in the same way of Lani's reaction of like, wait, what is happening? And then to have that monologue from Abe to Paulina was just like, oh no, like somebody say it's a lie. Like, how did you guys feel about it?
I mean, you guys, I think the fans, I think everybody know, I speak so highly of Abe. I love him. James, I love him so much. That I wasn't from the moment I found out that he wasn't going to be Lani's biological dad, I was just mad and angry and like, I don't like this. Like I was not happy about it, because I just love him so much. And it just broke my heart. And
I remember you saying, he's been my dad this whole time. I don't understand why they're doing it.
Yes, I was like, my Sal's own personal feelings got involved, because it was like, I was brought on for him, and we have such a good father-daughter dynamic, and I'm like, you're messing it up, but again, like, it's given him some great material to play, and he deserves that. So if this is what we have to do to allow him to shine, we got to break his heart then, and that man is so, I love him so much. I can't talk about him because I'll start crying. I love James Reynolds so much. He's just he's a legend. He's wonderful.
Really, yeah. What about you, Raven? Was it, and then you got a really harsh reaction from Cameron, who plays Theo. Yeah. Like I was watching it like, Theo, calm down. Like, like don't go so hard on Chanel like that. Like she wasn't being selfish.
Did you say go back to South Africa?
What are you even doing? To me, I had just come off of doing this scene with Abe where we were bonding and he was my new dad, and it was such an exciting thing. And working with him, as Sal said, is just so he's so warm, and he's just like, his voice, just everything about him, it just feels like it just feels like a hug. And so to see him and doing that monologue and like just being so heartbroken like that, it's like he's one of those people whose hearts you don't want to break.
Yeah.
Feel for him, but then at the same time, I agree with Sal. It's like this, but at the end of the day, this is like what we all live for, to be able to do this stuff. So
we want to do this work. We want our hearts to break, and because that's the point of telling stories, So it's like
I think that's who Chanel cares most about in this dynamic is Abe, because I think that Chanel feels so betrayed by Paulina, and then she has this competitive thing with Lani, and so Abe is the only person who she doesn't really want to hurt. I think when she does the reveal.
Wow.
We're like, oh.
Justin, did you have something?
Oh, got it. We covered a lot. I was gonna ask Raven, how do you like being the voice of reason, or like sort of the audience's voice when it comes to like the MarDevil storyline? It's a lot of your dialogue is very much like what a actual person would say, like don't mess with
these white people crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going there. Like, how do you like being that? How do you like playing that sort of role?
I love it. It makes it easier because it's honest and it's truthful, and it's the way I feel about it in real life too.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the hell? Like what? Like I think that it's so smart to have somebody in there that's doing that.
Absolutely, yeah.
He gets so like out there that we need that voice, and so I love that I get to
Absolutely. You need someone to like check it, to be like, this is strange. Is like, am I the only person here who's like experiencing this? This is weird.
You're basically the voice of the audience, because sometimes we sit there and we're like, what? And then Chanel pops in and we're like, yep, we get it, girl.
There we go.
We get it. What was I going to ask?
Are there fans? Oh, there they are. The fan
they are. I feel like we have everyone is first of all, they've been like anticipating our chat with you guys, because again, this storyline has been so big, and we knew that this reveal was like was coming in, and so I feel like everyone's just kind of sitting here just listening on and hanging on to everybody's word.
I know, it's a big one. It's a really big story, and
it changes so much of what we know already, that like it's such a huge ripple effect, for us, because now we're like, there's been mentions of Ray being Lani's father, but we like, well, who's Ray? Like,
you don't know Ray,
who that is? Like, it's like, is this going to turn into an episode of Maury where like, who the daddy? Like, what's?
But it has changed everything. But knowing, watching as long as we have, and knowing what the show is capable of in terms of writing, it may not be, the final word. So, things can always, if it's written right, things can be reversed, so you never know.
Or we've been using the example of like the father-daughter relationship that Abe and Nicole have, and how like sweet and like pure that is, that we're sort of, or at least for me, it's helped me sort of deal with the fact that Lani isn't his biological daughter. It's like,
well, okay, good, because I'm still dealing with it.
Still dealing with it. That doesn't bring you any comfort.
No. No, it doesn't at all.
We do have.
I hear that.
Yeah.
We do have one fan question that's come in, and which is a good question, because we're now seeing this relationship build and grow. This is for Raven. They want to know what it's like doing scenes with Carson Boatman as Johnny, because things are heating up over there at the DeMera Mansion.
They are. I love working with Carson. I love him so much. He's probably the most friendly person one of the most friendly people I've ever met. He's friends. He loves everyone. And like, so sometimes I give him a hard time. I'm like, I thought we were besties. Like when I see him, like, I'm like, what are you doing? We're supposed to be besties. But yeah, I love him so much. We have so much fun working together. We run lines together. Like we'll be like, if we have big stuff coming up, we'll be like, okay, are you free tonight? And then we'll hop on FaceTime and we'll just like drill. And I love that too, because then it's like, then when we come to work, we have, I always, when I've drilled more, I always feel a lot more freedom to play. And so yeah, I love just working with him, and I love him as a person.
Yeah. One last question from fans. This is from TMM. Oh wait, where did it go? There it is. Sal, he wanted to know, are you and Stacy close in real life? Because we had such that wonderful friendship with Lani and Kristen in the convent. Yes. But they wanted to know if you're close in real life as well.
Yes, we are. We are actually, I mean, I think besides Marcy, because everyone knows me and Marcy's friendship, but I have that same friendship with Stacy. Like, she is one of my closest friends. We hike, we have wine nights. I love her so much. Stacy is probably, my gosh, I feel like I've known her forever. There's something about her, man. And Tony, you spend time with her. She's wonderful. My gosh, she makes you laugh, cry, all these things all at once. And she just opened up her life to me, her family. We bonded so much during that storyline. And even just like she's like me as far as like wanting to be super connected to the person that you're working with. I mean, we would have moments on set together where it's just like we just hold each other's hand and we just like look at each other, and it's like we don't even say anything, we just like get connected. And I don't know, I love her so much. And yeah, she's amazing. Being on this show, I've gained some really, really close friends, and I'm so thankful for that.
I mean, Stacey has such good energy about her, you can't help, like when you're around her, it feels so good and so warm, and it's like it's almost like you will tell her everything, and then you will laugh about it.
Yes.
And you may cry about it. Like Stacey and I have and her husband have had some of the best conversations ever, and they're just so natural and so organic, and it's something where you just go, I like that happened. That felt
like
good.
She's just someone that I mean, she's stuck with me. She's stuck with me for life. But yeah, like you said, you want to tell her everything. Over the summer, I had some really challenging times, and she was someone who like helps me get through a lot of it. And I can remember we were hiking, and I'm just like crying and pouring my eyes out, and I don't know what's going on. And she's just got me. She's just, Raven, you said something about James, where like he's just a warm hug. That's how Stacey is. Like, she's just like, I got you, Sal. Like, I'm here for you. Like, anything you need. And to have, when you go through dark times in life, you can't trust everybody with those things that you go through. And she's someone that I open to. And same with Marcy, man, Lamone. I'm like, those are just, I've gained like 3 beautiful people in my life that are just, I love them so much.
Yeah. All right. Last question. And then we'll let you guys go. This is it. There's a lot coming up, I'm sure. If you can describe it. It's my favorite question. I ask this all the time.
I already know what it is, too.
You can describe it in one word. Because you sometimes this is the question for the fans because they always want to know what's coming up in the storyline, and I'm like, we can't ask that because we're trying to make sure y'all keep your jobs,
right?
Because if you lose your job, I can't give you one. I ain't got, I have nothing, So
we're gonna be right here.
You don't want that trade off. You don't stay where you're at.
You can come here on Dishin Days. You can work for free mugs. But if you can describe what's coming up in the storylines in one word, what would it be? Just one. Because I feel like if you give too many, we got too many Nancy Drews.
I know. Okay, in one word.
God.
I'm thinking of a really good word. Hold on.
Okay.
Keep those
I'm gonna do a filler. I'm gonna do a filler while we're thinking. So last time when I was here, the one word that I gave, I think, was Jerry Springer. But I said that, but it was because I didn't want to say Maury.
Oh, got it.
Got it. You guys were like, what? Jerry?
He was like, wait a minute, who's fighting?
Yeah, right.
That was a good one. You gotta give something, but throw it off a little bit.
Yeah.
That was good. I'm gonna
just say you're not gonna see this coming.
Okay.
Oh, you gave us a whole sentence.
Because you're not gonna this is just I didn't see this coming, so.
Oh.
And I'm real good. I'm real good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all.
Huh.
I'm gonna say heat.
Let that
marinate.
Well, listen. What we saw on Friday, there's definitely some heat coming. When Johnny said, when Chanel said, let's go upstairs, I said, what y'all about to go do? Y'all about to go play Connect 4? What's going on?
Connect.
Has it been that long, Tony?
Connect 2.
Connect. Oh my
How about that? Well,
oh my gosh.
As
I'm trying to read all these comments over here. I'm nosy.
I'm trying to too.
I know. I'm like, I'm trying, people, but hi, everybody. I can see all your comments here.
Well, as always, it's
my girl Ariette is on there.
We always appreciate when any of you take your time to come and chat with us, and you all are just doing such amazing work over there, and I know how dedicated you all are, not only to the craft but to the characters as well, and it definitely shines through, and this week was like no exception. So we just greatly appreciate what you do, because people don't realize it's not easy. You know what I mean? Like, you have one take, one shot, one chance to really convey all of this stuff. And a lot of fans don't realize what
to bring everything.
Yeah, what you go through. And so, even for people who are like, I don't like this storyline, I'm like, y'all just go on the journey with them. Like,
right.
they're doing their best. And you guys,
exactly. We're doing our best. We're not robots. Like, it's a lot that we're trying to get out for you guys and also feel and be connected to these characters. And our turnover is, we do a lot. We do over 100 pages a day. Like, we do so much, and to bring all of this to you, so be gentle on us.
Tony, what should they do?
I can't do it.
What? I want to know now.
Yeah, I've been singing a dance. So as soon as you said that, I felt I should start singing. Go easy on me, baby. Just saying. I don't know what note I hit. It's just
a good note.
A note.
It's a great note.
Well, Raven and Sal, thank y'all so much.
Thank you. I just really want to quickly say thank you to you, gentlemen. You guys are so lovely and have always been so wonderful. Like, all these years that I've been here and getting to, speak with you and get to work with you guys is just great. And you guys support us so much. And man, you give so much to the fans. And thank you to all the fans for supporting us. Like, it's truly an honor. And if we don't tell you guys enough, we love you very much. And so thankful to be, to be on this with you guys as well. So thank you. And thank you for having us.
Our pleasure.
Well, yes. And the same goes for both of you and everybody that always comes on. Like Tony said, we're always so grateful that you give up your time on Sundays of all days to be with us and chat with us. So it's a
and it's just people like you though, like you guys are so dedicated to the show, and that's such a, that's special. And it's why not? Like, why not show up for you guys? Like, you guys are showing up for us. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do what you guys are doing, and you do. Yeah. And that's amazing. And, we got to show gratitude for that.
But just like y'all, we do it for the love. We love the show. We love, other Days fans, and we just wanted to create a space where we can all come in and like talk about it, very respectfully, because we understand that there's a lot that we may or may not know. But, it's just a fun thing to come and just chit chat about what we saw, throughout the week, sometimes argue a little bit, but it's all in love.
Hopefully we'll get to be back in the studio. Are you guys ever going to go back to the studio?
Well, that studio, AfterBuzz, is
Did you hear about AfterBuzz?
I did not. Let me close that can word. I didn't mean to open that.
Yeah, no, but for Raven's like, hold up, now I didn't realize I was gonna come into some Dishin Days tea.
I'm just saying, like, to be in person, that's all.
I mean, maybe one day we have to discuss it, because like now we're doing it on our own, so it's been so easy just to log on to from our house and in our front of our fake backdrops, like this ain't real, y'all. This from Amazon,
It's so sparkly. It's like right. Tropics somewhere. So sparkly back there.
But hopefully, if things keep going well, we may venture back out into a studio, because it was always great to have you guys in studio to like talk and like.
It's definitely a different rapport experience when you're face to face and or in person face to face rather than virtually.
Yeah. So if anybody out there wants to be a sponsor,
yes,
or investor in
studio space for us,
come on with it. Right. So someone said a GoFundMe for Dishin Days.
Yes, that's actually good.
Yeah.
Burbank Studios, y'all got some space over there?
Lots of space over there.
Right. Well, thank you guys again, and we hope to be talking to you guys soon, because we know that the storyline is just going to keep progressing, and the second we got questions or something happens, we're gonna be like, listen, can we get them back in? Or we don't have to talk about this.
Well, I'll be here, so thank you. Yay. Thank you guys so much, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Raven, you're amazing. Okay, I just want you to. I'm so thankful that you're on the show. Like, you've been so lovely to work with.
You are.
Mm-hmm. So beautiful. Okay, look at her.
Keep going. No, thank you. I always say this every time. I love all of you guys, especially you. When I first met you, I was really excited to meet you, because I've always looked at the Soap Digest, so I've always seen you, and I've always wanted to do a soap opera, and so like you were an inspiration to me already, and and then when you meet
girl, I'm like, don't make me. No, I'm really emotional. Don't do that.
But and then when you meet people and when they're even better than you imagine that they were going to be, and they're sweeter and all that stuff, it just makes it even better. So thank you for being you.
Oh, so beautiful. I know. Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you. Okay, y'all gonna have me over here.
Okay, we all gonna be a mess. We already got to listen to Adele's album. Like, I
gotta do that.
I need to do that too. I do. I need to get on that.
You gotta prep yourself though. Like, I gotta be in a certain mood for.
I know. Lamone was just telling me he was listening to I guess the one about her daughter. There's like a song about her daughter, and he was like, "I was just crying." Sorry, Lamone, for telling the story, but I haven't listened to it yet, so I need to listen to it.
That means a few minutes we all about to be in a corner with a
know,
bottle of wine.
We all about to be crying. So when we get off, everybody go listen to the song about her daughter. I don't know what it's called, but it's on the new album.
we just be, oh my god.
That's his daughter.
Oh. All right.
Okay, y'all. Come on now. We're just gonna be on here.
We'll just keep going. It'd be like part 2. Let me get an email like, Lord, y'all kept them on there for so long. I'm like, I'm so sorry. That's what happens. You get people together and we just start talking.
But I love it's great. I love it, and I love reading what everybody's saying over there. It's sweet. I love this. Thank you guys.
Oh, we thank you, and I'm pretty sure Soap Twitter is going to be a buzz. Raven, look out for all of those links that they're going to send you.
All the select videos you'll ever want.
Yeah,
we're gonna have all the content, everything.
All the things. Well, happy Sunday to you guys. Yes. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your holidays. Enjoy your break, and we can't wait to have you guys back on soon.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yay! Thank you so much again. Ladies. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye. Love you all.
Bye, you guys.
Bye. How do I hang up? Oh, there we go. Okay, I see it right here. Leave. Okay, bye. I'm going.
Bye.
Oh, yay. That was so much fun, you guys. Special thanks to Raven and Sal for coming on. And I hope you guys got better insight into their storyline. But that has been Dishin Days. Before we head out, Mattes.
Yeah.
So the kind of folks where they can find you and Bimby.
You can find me and Bimby, who's staring at me because he wants his dinner. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at MLMattes.
And Justin, where can they find you on your one social media platform?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at at Justin Lee Herald on Instagram. I got.
Remember when I used to do that every week?
Michael Mattes will, and I'm like, it's your screen name. Like, how do you?
I was getting mixed up between on and at. That's why I was like, getting.
Okay. Let's do it again. Take 2. Justin, where can they find you on your one social media platform?
You can find me on Instagram at Justin Lee Herald.
And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony, and you can find all of us at Dishin Days Show on Facebook, Dishin Days on Instagram, _Dishin Days on Twitter, and of course, on our YouTube channel, Dishin Days. We will see you guys in 2 weeks because next week we're going to be enjoying greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, ham, chicken, turkey, and we hope that you all will too. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Have a happy holidays. Enjoy your week. Be safe, and we'll see you back here in 2 weeks, December 5th. Right? That's December 5th.
Yep. 2 weeks.
Yes. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Happy Sunday.
Bye.